Live on TikTok, live on YouTube. What's up, guys? What's up, Banana? What's up, Cat? How you guys doing? Dude, I was trying to do this in Shorts feed, but for whatever reason, Shorts feed wasn't working. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't working, but it just didn't really want to work, I guess. Okay, guys, send your games in the Discord server. Send your games. Alright, I'm gonna send out a ping real quick, get everybody in here. What's up, guys? How you guys all doing? Are you Dr. Rouge? What's up, dude? Nice to meet you on the stream, sir. Join the stream and say hi. Sorry I was a little late, guys. I was trying to set up the Shorts feed stream, but for whatever reason, my OBS wanted to crash out on me, so that was awesome. Game sent. Dope. What up, what up, what up? Trust line for the games as if you sent first, second. I don't know. Hi. Hi, Cat. How are you? How's the weather in Brazil today? What's up, you? My king, you. I have been working on your video all day today. It's giving me a bit of a noggin ache. Hello, man from TikTok. Hello. What's up, LG? How you doing, brother? Hello. We're live on Twitch, TikTok, and the YouTube. Tube. Hang on one second, guys. I can't see the chat, so I'm trying to go to my Twitch chat. What's up, Mint? Mint, you're in the Twitch right now. What's going on, brother? FS, you went to change this to chess. Did I mess this up? Did I mess it up? Where did I mess up? Hello, Sky Destroyer. Hello, Phoenix. What up, what up, what up, guys? What is up? What is up? Be sure to leave a like on the stream, guys, and we're going to get into those reviews here in a second. Point of these reviews is I'm trying to help you guys see stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to see. And I want to help you guys understand it. That is the point. 144p stream. Hello. Yeah, my TikTok stream's kind of trash. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I have yet to work on that and fix that. Sorry about that, man. If you want to join a better experience, join the YouTube live stream. You reached 1,500 on Bullet? Dude, congrats. That's a big accomplishment. Congrats, dude. That's freaking awesome. Nice, I'm 400. Dude, I feel like I'm 400 sometimes. Alright, yeah, so first things first, I like to get all this out of the way. This stream is a full Strive Classroom, which means that today you guys are going to be sending me your games if you would like me to review them. And I'm going to review them, and I'm going to show you where you messed up, show you where you can improve, review some good moves that you had in your game. Like this isn't solely to just absolutely flame you, bro. It's to to show you and give yourself some self-reflection that, like, hey, I messed up. I'm never going to make this mistake again. We're going to be reviewing all the blunders. We're going to be looking at the mistakes. We're going to be looking at the misses. And I'm going to be helping you guys improve your game. That is the goal of this. And it'd be really nice if I didn't have freaking higher elos coming in and correcting me. If you would like to correct me, please DM me privately. Much appreciated. Because sometimes I do slip up. But all is good in the hood, yo. But yeah, guys, so far I only have a game from LG, a game from Cat, and a game from Dr. Rouge. Guys, go to the Discord server. Go to the new channel I made. It's called Send Chess Games. And send your games. You guys can send a max of 2 each. Why isn't this 144p? I want my HD videos. Bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know what that means. Hello, TikTok. Hello Biggie. Hello, JD. Hello. Hi, Phoenix. Oh my gosh, we have 5 people in Twitch right now. Hello, guys. What's up? How you guys doing? Wait, FS, can't you also be in the Discord classroom call? I can, but I choose not to at the moment for these. Subject to change coming sometime soon. Yeah, you're the first one to post our game. Bro, why are you guys not sending games, bro? I need some more games. There's only 3 games in here right now. Welcome back, Jade. Why are y'all on the Twitch right now? Get to the YouTube live stream. What's wrong with you guys? Categories? Oh, did I mess something up? Oh, I'm in the Among Us category. Whoops. What's up, Marco? Yo. Dang, yeah, I have Among Us set up. My bad. Oops. Start with my game this time? I will be starting with your game because you sent it first. IG 3 boosts is enough for tag. Wait. FS, why don't you make tag for your server? Because I've boosted my server 14 times and nobody else seems to want to boost the server and help the team. No, if you want to boost it, you can. If you don't, it's also nothing personal. Oh, Phoenix finally sent a game. Hooray! I'm still waiting on like half the stream to send some more games. If only we had Nitro. Yeah, I said that one time. A long time ago. Which platform you streaming on? LG, I'm on the YouTube, YouTube. But I am on Twitch, and I am on Twitch, and I am on just those. Spawn camped with the 30-second ad. Wah, wah. Doing great. I hope you're well too. Thank you, Marco. Yeah, we're streaming on YouTube, and I'm mainly looking at the YouTube chat, so if I'm a little delayed responding to you guys on Twitch, I apologize. TikTok I can see pretty quickly, but yeah, I'm mainly on YouTube. Give out Nitro rewards? I don't think anyone will play my tournament, so I'll only give out Nitro rewards. Okay, guys. Full, please try to guess my friend's rating. Alright, I'm going to start reviewing the games. I'm only reviewing games today, guys. I'm only reviewing games. Setting up some other events, but like this is, like I said, an exercise to help you guys improve your chess. A lot of people have been asking me to start doing these, and I'm going to start doing these consistently, but like, I need you guys to show up. Pretty please. But LG, let's go ahead and get started with you, good sir. Paste in. Make sure the stream's working appropriately. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Start game review. Alright, LG's playing with the black pieces. Alright, Mr. LG. Allow me just a second. Just a second. There we go. And there we go. Alright, Mr. LG, in this game, you played a 90.2% accurate game. Your opponent played a 78.1% accurate game. You played one great move and you had no blunders. You played like a 2100. Wow. All right, you guys need to start sending me some gritty games, guys. You guys keep sending me perfect games. The purpose of this is to help you guys improve, not to show off your skills that we know you have already. No, I'm gonna review this LG. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna take it one step further. What's up, Swagger? Swagger, I feel like I know you. Bro, I feel like I have some elite ball knowledge and I recognize you. Where do I know you from? You're from like somewhere long ago, I think. I remember you. I think I remember you. But what's up, dude? Alright, LG, let's open up here. Your opponent opened up with D4, you respond with D5, C4, E6. Game win like this. Knight C3, Bishop B4. Bishop slides up to block the pin. Good job developing your knight so you can castle. Excellent development, and your opponent being shadows, so this pawn's going to be a little weaker. But you bring your bishop in, and your opponent pushes the pawn. Okay, so now, like, I'm assuming they were trying, like, pushing this pawn forward essentially means they're trying to go here, but they also pushed here. So like that's why this is getting inaccuracy, I think. I think it's just like a little too much open space. Knight glides in. The bishop now comes down. You take. All right, so far so good. We see castles, castles. A5. Okay. Okay. Wondering why you probably could have gone like this and like rotated your knight. Maybe you also maybe could have gone. That probably would have been the best thing I would have played. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say Queen F6, but like there's no point in this because there's two defenders on this already. So, I still like that move. All right. You push the pawn now. Okay, so now the pawns are connected. The queen comes down here. The knight is under attack. You bring your queen up. Okay, okay, okay. So, this right here is a mistake because now your opponent can start forcing the initiative. They push this pawn here, which is actually what they did in the game. If you take and your opponent goes here, horsey's going to go bye-bye, not there, and pushes here, your horsey is cooked. So like if they push here, I believe, hang on, let me calculate this. Yeah, 95, queen takes e7. I think F3. No. Oh wait, no. Am I tripping? Table check. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, sorry, my brain just had a bit of a malfunction. But your opponent went here. After this push, how does this not work? After 95, which is a brilliant move, if the queen takes, you take back. If horsey takes, you take the queen, which is a blunder. But oh, and see what? Oh, it's D5. I don't know. I'm all out of all disarray right now. Oh my goodness. But anyways, your opponent went here, and now you're winning again. So you can just simply take here now, and their queen will be hanging, which is what you do. Nice, nice. But your rook is gonna die, but you're still at material. Nice. Push the pawn, defend the pawn. Good stuff. You defend the pawn again. Excellent, excellent. This was a very, very good move instead of pushing here, because if you pushed here, you would have blundered your pawn. So good coordination here from LG. Also, good job bringing the rook over here. Excellent pawn coordination. And your opponent is not going to be able to stop all three of these pawns. Impossible task. Horsey goes here. Your opponent takes. You push the pawn. Oh, you just ignore the pawn and continue to push. Masterful stuff. I was going to say you could probably just promote here. No. Yeah, you could have promoted. You could have just went ahead and promoted. But what's up, Matthew? What's up, Pabu? But yeah, here. Then the rook comes up. Nice, nice. And then you deliver checkmate. Good job, LG. Nice game. Nice game. But yeah, guys, send some gruesome games, guys. You know what? We're gonna take a pause. I'm gonna review one of my games that was just absolutely horrendous to show you guys that like everybody has trash games. Like I need you guys to send me trash games, not your best games. Which I'm assuming is what you guys are currently doing. Like this is not an exercise to show off your skills. I know you all have mad skills. LG in that game had massive, very impressive skills. But the point of these classes is to improve. Okay, fine, I'll make my games. Pabu can't send games, bro. Pabu plays 2,000 elo every time. All right, I'm going to show you guys one of the most excruciating, disgusting games. You know, you, if you can hear me right now, I'm about to show them our game from the other day. You and I played the most atrocious, heinous game in history, bros. I'm about to show you what hell looks like. Oh, just wait. Buckle your seatbelt. Buckle your seatbelt, boys. It's gonna be alright. What's up, Blake? Blake, send me your game in the Full Shot Discord. It's in the channel called Send Your Games. All right, guys. I am not going to shy away. I played the most horrendous trash game on stream, mind you, and I'm going to show you guys just how bad it was. You beat me in this game, by the way. I'm going to show you guys a review and everything. It's part of the game, guys. Come on. This was the game. Take a good long look. Full Strive is actually trash. You didn't play his best either, but he got the job done and he had a brilliant move, which is cooler than me. And I played like a 750. One of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life. Yeah, Blake, send it. Like I said, send to the send your chess games channel on the Discord server. I sent a ping in announcements on where to go as far as that goes. But alright, guys. I am not going to shy away because this is all part of the game and this is how you actually improve your chess. Alright, so I opened the game up with e4, or excuse me, d4, sorry. U goes with c5, I take, he pushes, and this right here is the old Benoni, because he pushes pawn forward here, so he can be able to capture this here after that, which is what he did. I brought my bishop into the game, he brought his knight, normal development, I come up here with a check, his bishop blocks, I take, he takes with a queen, he probably could have taken with a knight there, would have been a little bit better, just to get his knight off the starting square. But queen takes, castles, push the pawn, and then you castles, I go here, and then when I say buckle your seatbelt, guys, literally buckle your seatbelts, because this is about to be horrendous. U goes h5. I play knight b3. The engine wanted me to continue to progress with h3, I guess, to prevent horsey from ever getting here. And I moved here, obviously, with the idea of moving the bishop, but at my skill level and U's skill level, this is something that U is very easily going to spot. But in some cases at lower levels, this could be a good move in terms of just development and everything. But he simply slides his bishop back here, and eventually, like, yeah, and then I go bishop d2. But yeah, he, like, essentially, like, why can't I get my words out? Horsey's kind of in no man's land at the moment. So I push the pawn here. He pushes his pawn here, and he just completely sacrifices the knight. A brilliant move by you, and this is actually the last good move of the game for 15 moves. No, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 moves. Sorry, this is the last good move for 16 moves. You plays 2 more, but I don't play a good move for a very long time. Yeah, so he plays here, and he wants me to take here because he's calculating that his rook is going to be coming in here after he takes back with the pawn, and eventually he's going to be able to get a nasty, nasty attack coming in here on my king side, which is very, very weak and vulnerable. I go ahead and take. He takes back with the pawn, going exactly with the plan that he set out for. Also note that the bishop is coming in here. There is so much pressure coming in on my king side, and my king is very vulnerable. There are very few instances where, like, I could potentially play f4, but, like, I'm also scared of that too because he can play en passant if I were to go here. And then if I take here, now my king side just completely fricked, bro. Like it's just barbecue chicken on the king side. So I didn't end up vouching for that. Instead, I decided to push here. And this is just disgusting because now he has g5, and his new idea that he could potentially play is push the pawn forward here. These pawns are doubled right now, but they will quickly be undoubled should he be able to continue to push with this. So that is why that is a mistake right here. He plays 95, bringing the knight into the game, and the idea is obvious. He's trying to get his knight here. He's trying to put a little pressure on me, coming in here. What's up, Ashes? How you doing? Matthew. Cat. Show the game where I beat you, FS. I was 400 ELO. This game is worse, and the closest one I remember. Yeah, since I'm showing you guys this game, you guys all, no, from going forward, if I see a game that is above 90%, you guys are all fired. From sending games. You guys are all fired. But yeah, his idea is to go here. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, what exactly do I need to do to stop this? I could play king g2, but if I play king g2, I'm still scared of his knight coming in here and then a potential checkmate threat coming in here because horsey is going to be coordinating with the rook and everything's going to be just barbecue chicken and scary. However, if I were to play king g2 and then his knight comes in, I can always bring my rook over here, and I did not seem to be able to put that in my noggin. So instead, I played knight ed4 and completely threw the game again. And now he can play. Now he can play g5 and continue with his original plan the original plan that I said would absolutely cook my position. So he goes queen f7. Still a good move. His idea is to come in here and eventually just completely cook me in every sense of the word. I play king g2 now. But now it is a forced mate, reason being, rook h2, king takes, queen h5. King comes back here to g2, queen h3, king comes down here, and now this is a, nope, sorry. Rook h8, and then there's no stopping this. There's absolutely no stopping this mate. This is going to happen no matter what on the next move, and I have no more moves. But he doesn't play that. Instead, he plays queen g6. I respond with c4. This This is a blunder for reasons I just mentioned. He has a rook sack, take, queen h5, king goes here or here. Next move, the rook comes over, and checkmate will be on the very next move. But you takes the pawn. He's still winning in every sense of the word, but he takes the pawn instead of sacrificing the rook. This is a very hard move to spot, by the way, though, for you. I probably wouldn't have spotted it either. I mean, obviously I didn't, but... then I play rook c1 because I'm like, ooh, castle pin, pawn to king. Pawn, but cooked. Pawn not going to survive. He goes king b8. A better move for him there would have been to, like I said, sacrifice the rook. Again. He goes king b8. I bring the knight in. Just completely, like, neither of us are seeing this rook sack right now. Neither of us are seeing this right now. Like, chicken strips! He plays rook h3. Oh, this is just, dude, this is just insanity. Okay, yeah, I think somebody peed in my Cheerios this day, guys. That's why I'm playing so bad. That's my excuse. But I take again. And he has the rook sack again. He takes me here. I take him here. He pushes the pawn. And now I am winning the game. I am winning the game. How am I winning the game? Knight c6 check. If the pawn takes. Queen b3. King has 3 moves. If the king goes here. Bishop a5. And I win the rook. If the king goes here. Rook takes on c6. King goes here. Ooh. I was going to say... Oh, yeah, rook. You can play rook fc1, but I was going to go queen b7, but queen e5 might be a little bit of a better option coming in here. But anyways, where was I? But I went back. Now he brings the rook over. Oh no. And then I finally play rook g1. This is a move I really need to play for a very long time. This is a move that I really need to play for a very, very long time. Before, like this is my, wait, hang on. Where's my first blunder? This is my first blunder. I needed, so after he took here, I still need to play rook g1 and just sacrifice the knight, because that's the only move that saves me from this rook sacrifice. But I play it here, and he pushes the pawn. I bring the queen up because I'm looking to put a little more pressure on his king's side. The bishop comes in. I come up with my own bishop because why not? Who's texting me? Can't you see we're in the middle of a classroom? But yeah, I play bishop b4. He comes in with queen c6 check, and I go king f1. Queen d5. I go ahead and take the bishop. Pawn takes back. I take with the rook. Queen's under attack, and I'm also going to be threatening a check here. But he comes over here with the rook, and this is actually a very sneaky move. Very sneaky move. Because if I take his queen, he takes me here. And that's not good. So obviously you would just take the free rook, right? No, no, no. I took the queen. I took the queen. Rook takes on d5 is a move I played. And he continued to take my queen. I'm still winning right now. Guys, I lose this game. I lose this game. Can you guys believe how far this game has come? Rook comes all the way back here for you. I play king e1, g6, knight c3. He takes. I give up a pawn. I go here with check. Goes here. I'm also very low on time now because I didn't know what I was doing, clearly. I come up here with the rook. Stop his rook from taking here. And I go here. He doesn't take. That was a free knight. Free horsey. And then I come up here with check. Very sophisticated move. And then I blunder mate 1 and lose the game. Yeah. 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 Those are the kind of games I want you guys to show me. Alright? Alright? We're all capable of looking at our mistakes and our blunders and our miscalculations because that is how we improve. If you are not capable of doing that, you are never going to see progress. Okay? I'm going to open the Send Your Games tab again. And I'm going to look at Cat's game. Let's look at Cat's game. Let's look at Cat's game real quick. Let's take a look at Cat's game. Oh, he changed his profile picture to a cat. This is more like it. This, okay, Cat. I was genuinely expecting to look at a perfect game, but dude, flawless. This looks like a gritty game. All right, so this is how the game progressed as far as the game review goes. Cat did win the game. like a 950, hit a blunder, and this. 4 great moves, though. 4 mistakes. Let's see how we can correct some of those mistakes and blunders. Mistakes, misses, and blunder. Alright. Yeah. Going forward, if you guys send me a game that's above 90%, I'm not reviewing it. I love you guys, but we're trying to get better today. Use this time to your advantage. Alright, Mr. Cat, you're playing with the white pieces. Let's see how this game went. So you open the game up with e4, your opponent went e5, knight of 3, knight c6, bishop e5. This is the Ruy Lopez opening. Nice, nice. Knight now glides into the position. You take. Main setup here. You go ahead and castle. Excellent stuff. But then your opponent brought his queen in here, and this is a very weird move that a lot of beginners will play against you. What do you do when your freaking opponent is doing stupid stuff and moving their queen in spots it's not supposed to be? Like, when on earth, there's no opening on this entire planet that's going to tell you to bring your queen to freaking g5, unless it's like a 30-line opening. Like, absolutely the frick not, bro. So, the best move that you can play right now is bring your bishop back here to the c4 square. Your opponent's queen is overextended, but your opponent's queen is attacking the bishop right now. That is their line of thought right now. They brought their queen out here. They're looking to put a little pressure coming in here, and your bishop's under attack. So you need to do this and then push here because your bishop is hanging. The cat pushes the pawn forward here and loses the bishop. Game progresses. d3. Cat is down material right now. Cat's main focus right now, because that blunder costed him a piece, he needs to keep as much material on the board as he can. Game continues with g5. Another weird freaking move. What do you do here? I personally would have just blitzed out f5, but f5 apparently isn't that good of a move. Or it is a good move. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, bishop is going to be attacking this. But your opponent can quickly defend this like so. And you're basically just cooked. And also, if you take this at some point, this is also going to be hanging. So there's a lot of factors that you got to factor in. You go here and you play the best move. Nice job, kitty cat. Your opponent comes back with queen b6. Now you push the pawn. Got to be very, very careful because your bishop is covering a lot of pieces right now. Guarding this piece, guarding this piece. If your opponent takes here and you take here, reasons I just explained, you're going to lose this pawn. If you go here and here, now your entire king side's going to be open. So there's factors you got to factor in here. But the engine wanted them to play pawn d6 and get the bishop into the game too. Or not there, obviously, but like here probably. But anyways, queen comes over here, push the pawn forward. I didn't see LOL. No, that's good, dude. No, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this. I have trouble seeing those sideways queen moves all the time. That's literally how I lose all of my games, bro. If I lose a game in horrendous fashion, it's usually because I forgot that queens can go sideways. It is so incredibly common, bro. Trust me. Trust me. You just gotta force your brain to be able to comprehend it and be like, yo, like, okay, the queen came out. What is it attacking? Ask yourself the proper or the required questions you need. Also, the position is getting very, very dicey. You used 23 seconds so far. So here's where you should probably be using a bit more time to try and calibrate a procedure to get you back in the game. So your opponent takes the pawn. You take with the rook. Okay. So you take with the rook here. You could have taken with the bishop. A, you get your bishop off that starting square. B, your bishop is now attacking a pawn. And C, with your rook coming all the way up here, your opponent has a bit of a target now. So when you take with the rook, your opponent can quickly go. Let's say your opponent goes. So it says d6, but I was gonna say, oh my gosh, g7, coming over here, and potentially put a little pressure on that rook. Like, ideally, you want to try and get your horses and your knights, or excuse me, your horses and your knights, your knights and your bishops off their starting square, if possible. More times than not, if there's a move where you can take with a rook or a bishop, it's probably better to take with the bishop. But it's okay. But your opponent goes here. So now you have a potential discovered attack on the queen. Because your rook is currently the only thing between your bishop and killing enemy queen. and there's no ifs, ands, or buts, especially no buts. You sack the rook, or I shouldn't say you sack the rook. You find a move that is very, very good. I would have played this too. I am not even going to lie. I would 100% would have played this move. Excellent, excellent, excellent find. Discovery attack on the queen. And your opponent takes. And you have a free queen. And you spot it. Nicely done, cat. Opponent takes back. You go forward with knight d2. Doesn't like knight d2 because I believe, yeah, it's saying that you don't have, like, this is a wasted move, and apparently I want you to navigate a little bit different. Could have gone queen h5, king f8. Knight c3. If takes. Oh, if takes here, you bring your rook in the game, and your opponent is just cooked, dude. Oh my gosh, your opponent is just literally cooked. Oh, you wouldn't go there. Don't go there. Queen e5, king comes up here. You can't come down here because the bishop is guarding. But you can go takes on c3, and you're also you're also attacking the rook here. But very difficult to find. Just an idea there. You're also hitting the bishop, so the horsey is basically stuck, and your opponent's rook is also going to be stuck until the horsey can move. And if the horsey ever moves, like we just said, then bishop will die. So, but anyways, you go here. Your opponent pushes. You're still down a piece, by the way, too. You come in here with a check. Okay. So you left your so horsey's on its own right now. But your opponent goes here. You bring the horsey in the game. Nice. You didn't forget about the horsey. Good. Your opponent develops their horse here. And you take here. And you blundered this right here. Bishop e3. And that's actually what your opponent played. Taxes you got to be aware of. So, Cat, right now, you are playing a 10-minute rapid game. You are playing a 10-minute rapid game. You have used 55 seconds of your clock. Attention, all sub 1,000 ELO players. I have an announcement for you. Everybody listen to me very, very closely because I want this rule to apply to every single one of you if you are below 1,000 ELO. Do not play at the pace of your opponent. Do not. It is better to lose on time and understand and try to, it's better to lose on time and try to understand a position. A move like this played in 5 seconds should never happen. Cat is a good enough player to recognize, okay, this is a threat. This is not in fact a free pawn. There is a escalated attack that can completely and utterly lose me the game. And that's what happened. But we're going to continue with the game. Use a little bit more time. Very, very important. There are ifs and buts to that, and obviously I am a special case because I lose every game on time, but you guys that are sub 1,000 ELO, I promise you, it will help you guys improve your ELO so much by simply just taking a little bit more time. More on that in my course that I'm dropping. Anyways, rook e1. Enemy rook comes over here to the f8 square. You come up here to queen f4. Okay. You do have a queen on the board, and your opponent has 3 minor pieces as well as 2 rooks. And your opponent goes here. Okay. Okay. You come up here with the queen. Your opponent comes back with the knight. You bring the rook over here. King comes forward. You come up here with the check. Nice. King slides back. I can't get my addiction of playing fast. You gotta force your brain to start thinking more in positions. I know for a fact, Kat, that you know a lot more about chess than most beginners, but most beginners get stuck at a specific ELO because they play fast because they want to play fast, and you don't like. What's the point of playing a rapid game? You know, play blitz. If you want to play fast, play blitz. But I don't recommend doing that if you're sub 1,000 ELO, unless you're playing in a 4-stripe chess tournament. Then that's a different dog. But pawn pushes forward here now. Bishop takes. Queen takes on c7. Bishop comes in here to attack the rook. You take here, sacrificing your rook, but you are going to get the rook right back. Ooh, but your opponent finds the best move. Ooh. So good job getting your rook out of danger. And now the snipers are coming. Bishop sniper sniping in here. Bishop sniper sniping in here. The king is completely suffocated and dead to rights as it currently stands. Queen c6 check. King comes forward. Enemy king, mind you. Queen comes up here with a check. Your opponent's king retreats. In fear. You bring the rook up here. Ooh, oh, 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 no. Okay, you have a surplus of moves here, and you have 7 minutes on your clock. Oh my goodness. You can take the rook here. King takes. You get another rook, and you're winning in every sense of the word. You can also play Queen c6 check. King will be forced to go forward, and then you win this piece. You can also go Rook e4 check. Should the bishop block? Because that is the only move that will stop checkmate. If you go here and they block with the knight, that will be a checkmate. They block the bishop. You come in here. You actually lose the game, though, so don't do that. But anyways, you have 2 moves that you can play here. And you find the best move. King takes. But you eat the pawn on h7. All right. Cat. Like this is awesome. I want you to see this as freaking awesome, okay? There are some very fun things that you can improve in your game, and you will see progress so freaking fast. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm proud of you for sending me this game because this is an excellent learning experience. You had the rook here, but you took the pawn. But your opponent played knight e3. So now you have potential to come back into this game with queen takes on h3. And you find it. Nicely done. Your opponent goes a5. You come up here with a check. King comes down here. You go check. King comes up. You come down here with the check. Ooh, 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 ooh. If they don't block the bishop, you're going to eat the bishop. Oh! Wait. And then you're going to eat horsey. Peek, bro. Peek. And you get the bishop. Horsey comes in. You come in with another check. Oh, dude. Flawless. Flawless, flawless. Come up here. Horsey comes back. Retreat. Coward horsey. Come down here. Horsey retreats again. And you're up 5 points of material, and you're just destroying. You get the horsey. Also, excellent find here. Excellent find here. With horsey going here, beautiful. Get more pieces off the board. Make life easier on yourself. Discover check. Nice find. Ooh. See, okay, another thing too. You're still completely winning this game. Excuse me for my seizure I just had. You're still completely and utterly winning this game. Like, it's very, very clear and evident. But when you promote here and your opponent promotes here, it can sometimes get very, very tricky. You do have a forced mate here, which is actually what you find. Nicely done. But there are some cases where you ideally want to try and just make sure your opponent doesn't promote. But in this case, you had a forced mate, so I'm fine with it here. But always try to make sure you're paying attention to those fine details. Like if your king was on f1, so if your king was on f1, this would be a different story because your opponent would promote with a check, and you would not have promoted yet. So just factors you need to take into account. But you had the forced mate there, so nicely done, Cat. Everybody tell Cat GG. Everybody say WCat. WCat, WCat, WCat. Cat is probably the first person to send me a gritty game where there were actually mistakes and blunders. Cat, do you have any questions? Anything you want me to go back and look at real quick before we go on to the next game? And I will repeat. How can I prevent an... What? What is this? Who's Alex? What are you asking me in TikTok? Okay, you need to get banned. Ban. I'm gonna mute you. Entire alive. Bad, Alex. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Don't be saying bad things on my stream. Okay. WCAT. Snowfy. By the way, guys, if you guys want to get your game reviewed by Full Strive, send them to the Discord. Send your games. All right, you want to review one of your games, sir? I'm gonna review Dr. Rouge next. Oh wait, no, Dr. Rouge, you're next. You're next. You're next, bro. Oh, we got a heck of games. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of games. All right, everybody, be at attention. We got a lot of games to review. All right, Dr. Rouge, let's dive into it. If you played better than a 90% in your game is not getting reviewed. Let's get some grit in here, chat. Also, please leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying the stream. And if you want your game reviewed, join our Discord server. Do. Man said well played. Oh my. Okay. What is your username? Is this you or is this you? Who are you? Which one's you? How have you added? Oh, you're Death. Okay, I'm gonna add you as a friend real quick. All right, Mr. Dr. Rouge. Let's pull up this review. Dr. Rouge. Boop. In this game, you played a 74.9% accurate game. You had a brilliant move in this game. You had 2 great moves. 4 book moves, 1 mistake, 4 misses, and 0 blunders. Let's take a peek, shall we? Also, this is a 15-minute game, so you should be using a lot of time. Let me make sure I remember to pull these off the screen. All right. So, you open the game up with E4, a brilliant move. E5, knight of 3, knight c6, bishop b5, a Rui Lopez, like the last game. Knight of 6, knight c3, bishop b4, a3. To attack bishop, which is attacking knight. Bishop comes back here. Okay. You have a surplus of moves that you can play here. Engine is screaming for castles. But you can play bishop takes on c6, doubling the opponent's pawns. And you went here, which honestly isn't that bad of a move. I still think that's a valid move. The only problem with that is for reasons we are seeing at this current moment. The bishop can now get in here, but you can immediately take with the horsey, which is what you do. Takes. But now your bishop is under attack. Horsey is still guarding it. You bring the bishop back, though. King comes back, or excuse me, black castles. We see bishop e2, d6, knight e2. Pawn storms forward here to the c5 square. We see castles, and this pawn was hung. But there are ways that you can get it back. But you go here. The way to get it back was to play c3. Knight has to fall back, so let's say the knight goes back to knight f5, queen c2. The knight horse here falls back here. You are attacking this, but the bishop is still guarding. But I can go b takes c5, takes back, and basically the line's super long to get that pawn back. There is a way to get it back, but like the line's really long. But in hindsight, you blundered a pawn. But knight goes here. You push the pawn. Horsey falls back. Horsey comes back here to e2. Okay, so you want to ideally probably not rotate the knights too much. I know you probably weren't thinking about taking here, but just keep in mind, like, if you have moves that can like force the initiative. So like if you were to play here and he were to take here, you would actually win a tempo here. A tempo is where your opponent plays a move and you play a move and you actually win a little bit more space. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, touche. Bye, Matthew. Have a blessed evening. But horsey comes back here. We see knight e2, a6, d4. Great find. Because I'm assuming you calculated this. If your opponent takes, you take. If they take back, I was going to say takes, and then takes, and now you're threatening a checkmate. If they block here, now you have opportunities to get the bishop into the game. You can also do this, and your opponent's just cooked. But anyways, good move there. Opponent goes here. You bring the bishop all the way back here. Nice. And your opponent takes here. Okay. Also, f4 was an option on that last line, which is actually what's readily apparent or readily available at this current second. If you play f4 covered by the knight and the and the rook. If the opponent takes here, you just take right back. Where is horsey going to go? Where's horsey going to go? You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here, here, or here. Your pieces are blocking you. You have to sack. No. If your opponent's best move would be to play h3, and then take, and then your king side's extremely vulnerable, but like you have opportunities if the queen ever like was able to get in here to come over here and then maybe move the rook over or something like that. But yeah, that was why that was a blunder. But you take back. Your opponent takes here now, and you still have this. Keep in mind, this is a very common tactical miss. Your opponent, like I said, your opponent has its horsey completely trapped. Can't go here. Bishop is covering that square. Can't go here. Pawn is covering that square. Can't go here. Pawn is also covering that square. Push the pawn, though. Your opponent takes again. But now your piece is under attack. Your bishop in particular. But you take with the bishop. You're taken this way. Reason being. Knight c5. Rook g3 now. And now you just have a deadly, deadly, deadly attack coming in here on the king side. If horsey ever were to move, you have something here called a... Well, you can just take here initially. But I was going to say... Let's say your opponent takes here. This right here is called a skewer. A skewer is a very deadly trick where your opponent is just absolutely cooked. And there's not very much they can do about it. Because if the king goes here, it's a discovered attack on the king should the rook ever move. And you have opportunities to come here with a discovered attack. You can win the queen. If the queen comes down here, you just eat the queen. But yeah, that's a skewer, in case anyone was wondering. But anyways, takes. Wait, wrong line. Takes this way, sorry. Horsey comes into the position now, so now the game is even again. Also, Dr. Rouge, you haven't used very much time. You gotta make sure you use a little bit more time, especially in 15-minute games. Why are you guys playing these games and not using all your time, bro? I need all of you guys to start flagging every single game. New exercise. You guys all need to flag 10 games in a row. You either win or you flag. No ifs, ands, or buts, and especially no buts. Rook c1. Okay. Instead of rook c1, you had bishop takes on c5, pawn takes, and then f4. Same thing. Horsey can't go here. Pawn's covering. Can't go here, here. Can't go here, here. Oops. Or here. But like, it says it wants him to play g6 here. But like, you take here. The queen does get in here, so like he has attacking opportunities. But like, also you're down 2 points of material right now. I'm assuming it's from the pawns. Yeah, it is. Oh no, it's from. No, yeah, it's from the pawns. But yeah, takes here. Queen takes back. Oh my gosh, I'm literally looking at the wrong line. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Brain fart. Knight ge4. Pawn pushes forward. Horsey comes back. So now horsey is back in the spot where it's supposed to be. Ideally, anytime your opponent has a horsey here on the g5 square, it's usually a good target. You take now. Your opponent takes back. So engine is calling that all of your equalizing opportunities are now poof, and you're just down 2 points of material just cleanly. If your opponent plays perfectly, they will win the game, but we all know how chess is. Bishop comes down here to the e4 square. Your opponent takes. You take back with the pawn. Nice, nice. Bishop comes in here, pinning horsey to the queen. You push the pawn, and your opponent sacrifices their bishop. And I'm thinking they kind of got ahead of themselves here because I'm assuming they were looking at this discover check. Maybe. Horsey goes here. Now it's a discover check. But you go here with the king. And now your opponent has queen h6 check. Queen h6 check. If you block with the horsey, that's bad because now you're going to lose the pawn. And there's just a lot of ifs, ands, or... Wait, not takes. g6. Sorry. Horsey is pinned to the king. But yeah. Your pawn goes c4, you go here, and oh my god, that's actually what happened. King, but you played the best move, king g1. Nice. Okay, king g1 again, and you repeat the moves a little bit, and your opponent goes rook e5. Now you have queen d4. Horsey comes in, queen comes down here. You come up here, rook comes in, horsey comes into the position, and he brought his rook down here with the thought of defending this pawn. But you just sack the knight because how is the rook going to take this when there are two attackers or two defenders on this horsey? Oh, oh, oh! And there's the brilliant move. Exquisite, exquisite. I always call it skewer. Is that not called a skewer? Oh no, it is a windmill attack. Did I say skewer? Yeah, it's windmill attack. I've seen it called a skewer and a windmill attack. You're probably right though. It's windmill attack. That's like the main term for it. What did I get that mixed up with? Yeah. But yeah, GG's Dr. Roosh. Hopefully you found this helpful. Okay, next game. I'm going to look at Phoenix's game real quick. I'm assuming this is a perfect game because Phoenix doesn't like looking at his mistakes and blunders and misses. Oh, this is a game against Full Strive. Yeah, you're funny. You're funny, bro. This was a bad move. I take it back. That was mean. That was mean. Phoenix is capable of looking at his mistakes and blunders, but he's not capable of sending Full Strive an actual game that he had. This is a bullet game, too. Nah, bro, this is a bullet game. We're not looking at a bullet game, bro. This isn't educational at all. Okay. Is Blake in here and is Mint in here? Blake or Mint would be next. Ashes didn't send me a game. Ashes, you didn't send me a game, dog. No, I love you. Send me an actual game, though. I'm not reviewing a bullet game. Phoenix beat me in that game, if anyone was wondering. He beat me fair and square. Blake is here. Dope. Alright, I'm going to review Blake's game. By the way, guys, if you guys didn't know, Blake is actually the one who made our Discord server, if any of you guys were wondering. Blake literally created the Discord server that we all hang out in every day. Literally. And now we're going to train him to be Magnus Carlsen. Alright, let's flip the pieces. Blake's playing with the black pieces. Okay. Alright. We were supposed to end at 5, but we're going to keep going. Alright, Mr. Blake. In this game, you played a 57.0% accurate game. You had 2 blunders, 1 mistake, 9 inaccuracies. You played like a 450, and your opponent played like a 550. Bro is rage baiting me. Not you, Blake, Phoenix. Alright, let's see how this game progressed. Your opponent opened the game with d4. You respond with d5. Your opponent goes knight f3. You go f6. So Blake, right out the gate, remember, you want to get these 4 pieces into the game as quickly as possible. Your opponent played a very fundamental move to try and get their pieces or their horsey activated. So I call it horsey. Like on the stream, I call it horsey. But it gets his horsey into the game, and you also should follow suit with maybe like knight c6 is a fine move. I'm fine with that. You can also play knight f6. You can also bring the bishop into the game. Like, there's a multitude of ways. When you play this move right here, though, you low-key kind of block your horsey's development. You cannot go this way because your opponent would just take you here, and then you'd have double pawns, and that's a problem. So keep that in mind. Another horsey gets developed. So good job by your opponent. You play here. Note that your queen was still protecting this, so you didn't necessarily have to play this. But I see your idea. I see the vision. You're trying to keep some protection on this pawn. Good stuff. Your opponent blitzes out e4. Wait, yeah, blitzes out in 2 seconds e4. And here you can play bishop e6. Bishop e6, which is kind of a weird move. Usually we teach to not block your pawns, but that is the top move. You can also go e5. Or excuse me, e6. Apologies. You come here with the horsey. And this is an inaccuracy because now your opponent can go takes, and win a pawn. Is that actually what happened? Okay, interesting. Alright, well, your opponent appears to be watching Gotham chess videos. E6 on the board. This great move, great move, great move, great move. And your opponent goes here. Interesting. You go 95. So this you don't want to play this because you just hung your horse. You hung your horsey. But your opponent misses it. Okay. So now this is a. So now you can play. Knight takes on c4. Wait. Knight takes on f3. Queen takes. So knight takes on f3. If the queen takes, now you can just take this horsey. If pawn takes, structure is damaged. You can play king f7 now, getting out from under this pin, and the horsey's going to die if he doesn't move the horsey. You go bishop b4. And I see your idea here. You're trying to get pieces into the game. This is a check. You're trying to get your pieces into the game, and maybe you're thinking about getting the horsey here. But you don't want to get ahead of yourself. Whenever you get into these very complicated positions, too, you should probably be using just a wee bit more time as well. But your opponent did take the bishop here. You took the knight, pawn takes back. So this is a position we find ourselves in. So, excuse me. You're down 4 points of material right now. But believe it or not, you are still in this game because you are at a very fun skill level where quite literally anything is possible. Anything is possible. Do not resign your games, guys, if you're below sub 1,000 elo. Anything can happen. Anything. Queen takes e4. I don't really know why that came to mind, but what I was trying to get at, Blake, was you need to keep pieces on the board now. You don't want to trade any of your pieces when you're down material 9 times out of 10. Where she goes here, coming back. I think your opponent just discovered what pin pieces are, and he's spamming them. 97. And that move did blunder a fork. But the reason why the engine isn't calling it that is because you're down 3 points of material, and the engine is programmed to assume that you're just completely dead lost and it doesn't matter. If you bring your king here, it would have been better to maybe bring your king up here to the f7 square. When you bring your king over here, you're very exposed on this file, and quick moves like here, and then if the queen comes down here, castles, then the rook's coming in here. Let me just play that through real quick for you. So let's say you do go here. Let's say the bishop comes down here now. Let's say you come down here. Okay, never mind. You can't castle. You go here, and now your queen has been to your king. So, things you got to keep in mind. King safety, very important. Danger levels, as Gotham Chess would call it. Would that be considered danger levels? Yeah, we're just going to call it that. But anyways, yeah. You go here. Or, yeah, this is the better move. But you go here. Knight takes. Knight comes up here to the f5 square. Bishop now comes down. And I believe your opponent's going to be trying to castle now. So he moved his bishop down here, and he's going to be trying to castle. You push the pawn. Okay. Now the bishop comes in here. Now you have to be extremely careful with how you progress. Because very quickly, your queen could get pinned. Your queen is very, very limited right now. Safe square here. You can't go here, here, or here. You would just blunder the queen. You also can't go here or here. Remember, the queens can go sideways. You can't go back. You can't go here. And yeah, so this is a safe square. Bad, bad, bad. Bad. Safe. So you have two squares you can go to that are safe. Reason why this square is bad because the pawn can take you. Reason why this square is bad is because when the rook comes in here, now you can't block with horsey. So, yeah. But anyways, best move on the board is to take. Which is what you do! Nice! Excellent stuff. Pawn takes back. You come in here with a check. Oh, Blake, nice. You're still down 8 points of material, but hey, this is progress, serious progress. Pawn pushes forward here. Pawn pushes forward again. Your opponent now pushes the pawn, looking to push p. Yeah. Pawn pushes again. You take. Opponent takes. And now you start pushing p. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Rook check. Bishop blocks. Okay. Okay. This is an impossible move to spot. Rook takes on f3. Queen takes. Very, very, very difficult move to spot. Bishop h3. If the king goes here, this is a checkmate. This is a forced checkmate. The only way your opponent lives is if they go here, and then you pin the queen. And then you're back in business with the queen. But if they go here, check. King has no squares. King has no squares. Bishop is covering. Queen is guarding these. Your opponent's only move is to block with the queen, and then you take. Checkmate. But you go here. And I see your idea. You were thinking you might be able to get this bishop here. But with a quick little queen, king slide here, that is quickly negated. Ooh, and you bring the bishop in. So your opponent takes, you take back. King now comes down here. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Now you have a pin. Now you have a pin. Now you have a pin. You bring the king forward. Now the rook comes in. Queen slides back. Rook check. Remember the horse is guarding it. Also, this horse has been hanging for a few moves. Rook takes. You come here. Your opponent comes in with a check. You resign. Alright, so the main thing, Mr. Blake. Main thing. These 4 pieces have to get into the game as quickly as possible. You want to control these 4 squares. You need to focus on king safety. King safety is pivotal if you want to win any chess games, and that means getting your king castled, ideally in a relatively fast amount of time. And be very, very careful. Don't get ahead of yourself. You had the correct idea here, but you kind of jumped the gun a little bit because, like you can see on your screen, this just straight up hangs a bishop. Like the idea is there. You're trying to get your bishop into the game, but there's squares you need to ask yourself: is this square being attacked? And I will also note as well that you played this move relatively faster. Plain and simple. Same thing I told the other guys. Take your time. Thanks for reviewing that, brother. That was one of my worst games. Dude, everybody say W Blake right now. W Blake. It takes some serious guts to send a gritty game. And Blake has gotten better from this. Blake is going to get better from this. Blake, you did have some very good moves in this game. Everybody say W Blake. W Blake. W Blake. W Blake. W Blake. Come on, you gurus. Tell Blake W Blake. Thank you. But yeah, Project Blake coming soon. Yeah, dude, you guys are. I wish I was in the spot you guys are in because it's so freaking fun to improve because you start realizing, like, wait, I can do this. And then you start realizing I can do that. Like, oh, it's beautiful. Please, for the love of God, do not quit chess, guys. You guys are going to see some really crazy breakthroughs, and then that's when your addiction is going to start. That's when the addiction starts, is when you start seeing those fun breakthroughs. Hey, girls can play chess too. Okay, true. I actually am a big advocate for this. Girls can play chess. I wish more girls did play chess. But, anyways, a topic for a later date. Good game, though, Blake. Good game. All right. LG, I already reviewed your game. LG, this is a game against He. I don't know if I want to review that. Give me, like, a gritty game. All right, Mr. Mint. Mr. Mint, Mr. Mint. Let's delve in, shall we? Mr. Mint coming up next. Already addicted? Dude, yeah, it's the beauty of the game. Heck yeah, man, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. All right, all right. All right. I need to delete this guy's freaking messages. He said some very, very abnormal things in my TikTok chat. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Bro's gone. Okay, everybody. In this game, Mint played a 62.8% accurate game. He had 2 great moves. You guys know what a great move is? You guys all know? Can anybody tell me what a great move is? That is below 1,000 ELO. Can anyone tell me what a great move is? like what it means. Like why would you get that icon for a great move? Except Mint, I need you to pay attention. All right. 0 mistakes, 1 miss, and 5 blunders. He played like a 500. His opponent played like an 1100, and Mint is playing with the black pieces. And this is a 30-minute game. Okay. Let's dive into it. Let me go ahead and turn this off before I forget. All right, Mint. Your opponent opened up with D3. You respond with D5. Opponent goes D4. Okay, so already your opponent has wasted a move. Wasted a move as in they push his pawn here and they push his pawn here. I'm assuming this was a mouse slip, but we'll just continue. Pawn C6. Your opponent goes here now. Excellent development. Excellent development. Pabu got it. Phoenix got it. I consider it a clutch move, a game-saving move. The only move you can play in the position to either win the game or potentially not lose the game. Knight C3, Knight F6, E3, E6, Knight G2, Bishop D6. Mint already. Excellent structure, excellent development. Beautiful work so far in this game. Knight G3. Bishop is under attack. Ideally, you want to bring your bishop back here because you don't want this setup. If you go ahead and castle here, horse takes, you take. Oops. Horse takes, you take back, and now your pawns are just barbecue chicken, and they just look awful. But you do bring the bishop back. Good stuff, my good sir. C takes E5. C takes back on D5. Bishop D3. Knight BD7. Castles. Knight E4. Trying to force the initiative a little bit here, but this can cause some problems because if your opponent takes, you take back. Takes. This pawn's under attack and you're also down a piece. So you lose this procedure in terms of what can happen. So just to reiterate, it probably would have been better to play castles and move your king to safety and then maybe try and attack on this C file maybe. But with you going here, you lose the exchange. So whenever you make a forcing move like this, you need to ask yourself, am I going to lose material or am I going to be able to continue to force the initiative that I'm trying to portray in this spot? So when you move the horse to here, you are telling your opponent, I am putting my knight here, get fricked. There's nothing you can do about it, but they can do something about it. So 3 pieces are attacking this square. You only have 2 defenders. That is why that is a bad move. Or that's why the internet's giving it an inaccuracy. But the game goes like this. Your opponent takes the bishop. What's crazy is this is a mistake because you can play takes. If takes, you take with check. King's forced to take. You come here with a discovered check. King can go here or here. You ideally probably don't want to go here because then you're just going to be really cooked. If you go back here, you also might get cooked because then the queen's coming in. Your queen is coming in, correction. But your opponent can play F3. If here, queen H4, they can't block because then that would be even worse. But yeah, lots of lines. But that's why that was a mistake. But you took back. Probably a move I would have played. Your bishop is now hanging. You got to be careful about that. Oh. Yes! Through the chaos! Beautiful mint! Yes. Okay. Yeah. Be very careful about this. Horsey was attacking the bishop. The bishop didn't have a defender because Horsey is blocking the queen's defense. Hey, you spotted it when it counted, though. Good stuff. All right, pawn pushes forward here. You go E5, rook E1. Horsey comes into the F6 square. Bishop now comes down here. I don't want to push the next move because I'm scared. Okay, yeah. So this is where the fireworks happen. So Mint, I want you to pay very closely. Pay attention very closely. So in this position, you need to castle and get your king to safety. Right now, the white rook has X-ray vision on your king, and in the process of it having X-ray vision, your queen is in the mix. So that's something you got to take into account. Ideally, you want to try and get your king castled. You are winning in this spot. You have 2 points of material, but problems can ensue if you're not careful. But you go knight h5. And this is bad because this hangs a horsey. But your opponent goes here, looking to secure some more space coming down on this c file. Now you castle. Okay. This is actually a lot more common than you may think. These moves on the side of the board are usually like what makes or breaks almost practically everyone below the sub 1000 elo level in most normal games. Like, I would consider this a normal game because the opening was flawless and nice and very cool. But be very, very careful. Your opponent doesn't spot it, though. They push the rook forward here to the c4 square. You play rook ac8. And your opponent can straight up take again. But they take with the pawn, and now you have a way to save yourself, which is rook takes on c4, opponent takes back, and bishop b4. Because now, if your opponent takes the rook, you capture the rook. Beautiful stuff. And that's actually what happened to this point. But you take here with the queen. You blundered your queen. And all this being said, Mint, I want you to listen. I'm going to say this again, very, very clearly. You played this move in 3 seconds. You have 28 minutes and 30 seconds on your clock. You are a good chess player. I don't care what your elo is. I've seen you play. You are a very, very, very good chess player. I think you're capable of being a 1400 elo to 1500 elo player. But you have to use a little bit more time, especially in those longer games. Especially in those longer games. Like, if you're playing Blitz, I understand that's a whole different ball game. Full Stripe chess tournaments, I get it. You're trying to play faster. Understandable. But these are the exercises, or these games are your exercises for your brain to be able to better understand chess as a whole. Use it to your advantage. Sorry, I didn't bump the mic. But your opponent takes here. You take back. And your opponent comes in here with the queen. So they're pinning the bishop to the horsey, but they still could have won the horsey for free, but they didn't want it. You come in here. Ooh, nice spot, nice spot, nice spot. However, now your opponent can simply bring the rook over here to the c1 square and attack the bishop, and the horsey is under attack too, and there's no saving either. Or excuse me, there's saving one or the other. You could have potentially played knight here, attacking the queen. Now if your opponent takes, you're going to win the queen here. But with a pass pawn, it's very, very difficult to stop that pass pawn, because if you do move your rook over here, they're going to push this pawn. And he's up a pawn right now, but eventually the pawns are going to storm. And with this pawn having no black pawns on the other side of it, it is very, very difficult. Your rook will be immobilized. You're going to have to get the king into the game. And when you start bringing your king into the game, he's going to bring his king into the game. And it just proves to be very problematic. Honestly, one of the reasons why I don't like playing rapid is because my opponent will intentionally let the time run out when they're losing. That's honestly very, very common. Whenever this happens, fun story for you guys. I actually got banned on chess.com, or I shouldn't say banned. I got muted on chess.com for 6 months, and my ban expired on November 8th. No. It expired on November 24th. Whenever you are, what's confusing? Whenever your opponent's being a jerk or whatever, just do not engage with them and report them to chess.com. Chess.com will ban them. I have learned this the hard way. It's not worth it to get your account banned. Don't engage with them. Don't call them mean names. Don't give them any ammunition against you. It's not worth it, dogs. And cats. Which part's confusing? Let me go back. What's up, Al? How are you? Welcome to the stream. You sent 2 games? Sweet. Man, which part is confusing? I wanna help you, brother. How can I help you? Oh, the pawn storm. Okay. So, wait, sorry, I'm going with the game. So this right here is called a pass pawn. And a pass pawn is when there are no opposing pawns on either side of it. So in this case, like I said, you have no black pawns on this side of it. The only two pieces that can stop a pass pawn in the end game are the pieces that are not on the board what was I even saying there? The pieces that are currently on the board that are not pawns. So in this case, it would be your king and your rook. These are the only two pieces that can stop this pawn. You could maybe start to move the king over here, but like with your opponent being up a pawn too, eventually this pawn's going to storm forward. Yes, this pawn is stopping this pawn from promoting, but hypothetically, if you do go here, takes, now your opponent has two passers, but this is a drawn game, but you understand the vision. Why would that be drawn? I want to analyze this. Let me use my noggin. Yeah, e4. If you go g6, rook c7, you cannot take here because this pawn's covering. If you go here, your opponent can quickly play here to defend that pawn, and now they just have a big pawn chain. And then should you play h6 in an attempt to stop it? Also, they bring this rook down here because you can never push this pawn now, because if you do push this pawn, let's say they bring the king forward. If you do push this pawn, now the rook is completely cutting off your king's lifeline of ever escaping from the back rank. So, anyways, conversation for a later date. More on that in my course if you guys would like to join. By the way, guys, I am dropping Project 1500 ELO. I'm currently working on it right now. Project 1500 ELO, and I'm also working on Project 1000 ELO. It is a plan that is going to be inside the Discord server, where I solemnly guarantee you, if you do the stuff I tell you to do in this course, you will all get to the ELO that you so desire. Swear. Because I implemented these tactics myself, and they work. And I don't know why more chess creators don't talk about them. It's very fascinating. But anyways, everybody wants to learn openings. Everybody wants to learn, oh, middle games, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? But like, the answers are in front of you all the time. But anyways, queen's going to go ahead and take here. You're going to push the pawn. Queen comes down here. You're coming in with the rook. Nice. Bishop is covering. Queen takes on b7. King b7. Queen takes here. And at this point, the game's basically over. I'll just go ahead and speed through it. Yeah, they promote to a queen, takes, and then you resign here. So, mint. Very important note. This move appears to be a hole in your toolbox. Be very, very careful when you're moving pieces to the side of the board. You have very good vision. Very, 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 very good vision. But there are holes in your game that you're going to need to plug. Particularly long vision from your opponent, and when you're moving pieces to the side of the board. Seems like a very obvious one here. And then making sure you ask yourself, hey, like what pieces aren't covered? If I move this piece, if I move this piece, what is it going to cost me? If I move this piece, or let me reiterate, before you move a piece, ask yourself, what is my opponent attacking? What do I need to, is there something I need to defend? Is there something I need to move? Am I hanging a piece in one move? And low-key, Mint, if you play your games with the mindset of either I, myself, or my opponent is going to blunder first. No, there's no in between. There will be blunders in your game. 99% of your games will have blunders in them. And 92% of them are going to have one move blunders. If you are the person who does not blunder first, 9 times out of 10, you will win your games. So just keep that in mind. But overall, Mint, you played some good moves here as well. I hope you did learn something here from this game. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you setting this game. It's not easy setting the games where you played bad chess. It's not easy. But that's why we're doing this. We're all trying to get better. We are all trying to get better. Okay. Next game. I'm taking a little bit more time on the lower elo, guys. Marco sent a game. Marco, are you in the Twitch still? Hey. Marco, he came from Twitch. All right. Did that all make sense? Oh, you're Snowy. Oh, Snowfy. Sorry, Snowfy. Snowfy. Mispronunciation. Ashes, please make sure you send the game to the Send Your Games channel. Pretty, please. Alright. If Man is in here, I'm doing him next. Is Man in here? Alright, awesome. Man, keep going, bro. You're making serious strides. Like, everybody listening to me right now, you guys all have holes in your game. I have holes in my game. It takes discipline, and it takes a mature chess player to be like, yo, I'm fricking this up right now. How do I stop fricking this up? Analyzing yourself, taking a deep look at yourself, not just looking at your perfect games, but rather looking at the mistakes and the blunders and the misses and the things you did bad and figuring out, hey, how do I do this less? That's how you progress. It's not easy, but that's how you do it. Oh, you think you're next? I'm not doing two in a row. I'm doing one different one each time, and then if you guys have two and you're still here, then I'll do another one. Is Swagger here? Swagger, are you here right now? Exactly. No, Cat. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And dude, like, it's very common. Like in the day of social media and all that jazz. It is very social media is literally just a big highlight reel. If you post on social media, it's usually going to be a good post about yourself. You're usually posting stuff that you feel good about yourself, and you want to show people how you're feeling good about yourself. This cool thing you did, like this and that. But in hindsight, we all live. I don't want to say we all live the same life, but we are all human. We are not perfect. There's no perfect human on this planet. We are all more than capable of playing very, very well in chess and living awesome lives as we may portray them. But behind the scenes, we all have blunders. We all have mistakes. We all have things in our life that we struggle with. How do you fix your struggles and plug the holes in your life game and in your chess game? By analyzing them. Having the maturity to be like, yo, I fricked up. I'm not going to crash out. This is a lesson. I want to improve. How do I improve? Looking at your games. Motivational speech of the day from Force Drive. Anyways, Swagger, are you currently present? Swagger, if you don't respond in 10 seconds, I'm going to the next game, which is Man. If Man doesn't respond in 10 seconds, I'm going to the next game, which is Pabu. If Pabu doesn't respond in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to Owl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, Pabu's here. Okay, Pabu would be next. Where was I? 6, 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 7. 6, 7. I have a B5 opening against... Okay. Oh my goodness. Because Man and Swagger are MIA. So the next person on the totem pole is going to be Pabu. We're going to review Pabu's game. If you guys don't know who Pabu is like 10 times better chess player than I am, and he's very, very good. For reference, yeah, we'll review this game for educational purposes. There's probably not much I can teach you, but this will be educational for all the lower elos watching. Yeah, Pabu's a dog. This is Pabu. Pabu's 2044 elo in, I'm pretty sure this is a Blitz game? No, it's a Rapid game. He's 2044. So Pabu and I kind of, oh, no. This is a 6-minute game. Very fascinating time format. All right, let's pull Pabu on the screen, guys. All right, Mr. Pabu. In this game, you played an 84% accurate game. This appears to not have a winner in this game. You played 2 great moves. You had 4 mistakes, 3 misses, and 1 blunder. In this game, you played like a 2300 elo. Nice. Okay, let's dive into it. Pabu opens the game with knight of 3. His opponent responds with knight of 6, g3, g6, bishop g2, bishop g7. A completely symmetrical position. b3 on the board. Ooh, looking to fianchetto the other bishop. Honestly, a move I probably would have played if I was playing knight of 3. Bishop comes here. Still in theory, apparently. This is the ready, by the way, guys. If you guys don't know what the ready is when you move the horsey here first on the first move. Pawn pushes forward here. It can transcribe into different opening Why am I blanking? Openings. Knight c6. Papa takes the pawn. Pawn takes back. Horsey goes here. There was a move I was looking at, but I don't know where it went. Anyways, you go here with the horsey. Queen slides down here. Push the pawn. Pawn pushes forward here now for your opponent. And guys, why would we not move here? Because horsey is guarding that square. We don't want to go here. We don't want to go here because we blunder horsey in one move. And Pabu is not going to do that. Instead, he's going to push the pawn forward here. This right here is a mistake because of the very tricky rook d8, which is what his opponent played. I don't know why Chess.com's giving that a good move instead of the best move, because that's literally what it says on the top of your move. But anyways, oh, a5 is apparently better. Not there. Not there. There. a5 is apparently better to try and force something on the queen side. But I probably would have played this because horsey is now pinned to the queen. So now Pablo has to factor in, oh my gosh, my horsey is under attack and it's being pinned to my queen, which is the more important detail here. He brings his queen up here. Apparently queen c2 is better to put another layer of defense on this pawn. But he goes here. Bishop now comes in. Oh, yeah, that's another note. When you move your queen here, now your opponent has opportunities to bring the bishop in here and pin horsey to the queen. But why is this a mistake? This is a mistake because you can quickly play h3, and your opponent's going to lose a wee bit of tempo, because if they do take the knight here now, horsey can take. Horsey is out of the line of the side of the rook, and horsey's also attacking this pawn, and the bishop is. There's a lot of piece coordination here for Mr. Pabu should this sequence transpire. And he did play h3, but his opponent played the best move, which is bring the bishop back here to the d7 square. Very fascinating. Rook comes over here now to d1. Horsey gallops into the position. This is another really fun thing to note as well, guys. Anytime you can get horsey into your opponent's side of the board, so like there's four squares on either side. Hang on, these are the friendly squares. Anytime you can get a horsey on this side of the board, so in this case is on the friendly squares, covered by two pawns, 9 times out of 10 it is going to be good for you. If you can plan, this is called planting a knight into your opponent's position. However, Pabu can quickly negate this knight. But should he do that, which is what transpired in the game, now his opponent has a passed pawn. What did we talk about with passed pawns in the previous game? Passed pawns are when there are no pawns in its immediate vicinity stopping it from promoting. So Pablo is going to have to factor this into his plan going forward in the game. His opponent has a passed pawn now. Horsey comes back here. And I actually really like this. Is a very, very good move from Pablo, because horsey, like his thought process, bringing the horsey back here to get the horsey here, to A, stop this pawn from ever pushing, and B, put a little more pressure on this pawn. Followed through perfectly. Pawn pushes forward here now for Mr. Pabu's opponent. Also would like to note, his opponent has a dog photo. I'm pretty sure Pabu also has a dog photo on his YouTube account. King comes here to the h2 square. The horsey comes back to d7. Pawn pushes forward to f4. We see pushes here to f6. The horsey comes here. And his opponent goes here. A mistake, because now you can play f5 if your opponent takes. You take back. Bishop takes. Knight h4. If your opponent takes, this is actually problematic for him, because now you have also note, yeah, this is a classic example of sniper bishop, by the way. Hang on, yeah. So if your opponent takes here, now you have nasty sniper bishop, because takes. Oops, yeah, takes. Once you take with the rook, no, once you play bishop d5, come in with a check, and now your bishop is planted, and the pawn can no longer push forward for a very long time, because the main line of defense, which would have been this rook, is completely stopped because because bishop is blocking. But there are potentially ways that you could eventually get the horsey over here to stop that, but like ifs and buts obviously with that, especially a lot of buts. But h6 is played. Pabu vouches for c1, rook c1. Queen comes down here to the d6 square. We see horsey coming over here now. Okay. Good move by his opponent. This right here is a great move, a clutch move at that, because this is the only move that you can necessarily play to defend this pawn. If the king comes here, there are problems that can ensue, particularly f5, reasons we just explained. Bishop now has a discovered attack on the rook. If the bishop takes here, it can't, because horsey is guarding, so the bishop slides back. Pabu wins material. So a good move. Pawn pushes forward here. Another clutch move. Horsey comes back for Pabu. Probably exactly what I would have done. Engine wants knight g6, but like this is scary, because now you have a very much overextended pawn, or not overextended, extended pawn. a pawn that is in no man's land. That is what we will call it. But his opponent goes rook ac8 now. Queen b2. Pushes. Bishop slides back. Why don't you play knight fe1 now? And I guess rotate the knight. Queen comes here. Rook slides down. It looks like he's trying to triple stack here. But this can be quickly stopped with knight b4, which is what Pablo plays. Ooh, and now Pablo can get a horsey anchored into the position. It's a cat? I thought that was a dog. Oh, wait, that is a cat. Oh my gosh, I'm blind. LOL. Horsey gets into the position. Excellent move here from Pablo. Rook falls back. And Pablo in this position. If you guys can spot it, I'll take like 5 seconds. The magical 97 fork. Sorry, I went faster than I would have liked. Nasty fork. And Pablo is winning the game by 5 points of material. 2. Bishop now comes up here for Mr. Pablo. I'm assuming he was trying to add another layer of defense to this pawn because this pawn is vulnerable, and he also didn't want this pawn to move forward anytime soon. King e8, pawn pushes, bishop comes bishop comes back. Queen a7, knight b3, pawn pushes, here, here, here. Check. Rook slides up. Bishop is attacking. Pablo brings the queen up here, takes. Now there are ways that you can get out of this, specifically with this. If Pablo takes here, bishop takes, but there are tactics here. If you go here, here. Wait, whoa, d3, sorry. Anchoring the bishop into the position. But yeah, but Pablo goes here. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Rook slides down. Pawn pushes. Very even game. And the game ends in a draw. So, GG's, Pablo. Yeah, d3. That's what I initially thought it was, and I moved the bishop there. But yeah, here, Ozelon, you played, yeah, rook here. No. Takes, you bring the rook here, and then push, yeah. For some reason I thought it was here, but obviously you just put in the bishop. But yeah, this anchors it in. The bishop can quickly get into the position, stop the rook, this pawn pushes, and goodbye, GG's, game's dead. Alright guys, I'm not going to lie, this was only supposed to go for an hour, so I'm about to tap out here in a second. Brain is cooked. Alright, who have I not reviewed a game for yet? Sorry, I was expecting a lot of people to be here on time at 4, but everybody decided to show up at 5 instead. Ashes? Alright, we'll review Ashes. You sent a game against a 2500 and a game against a 1416. I already reviewed for you, Dr. Rouge. Alright, hang on. Let me take a sip of water here. Should I actually start doing more of these guys? Do you guys actually find these helpful? He made me very insecure earlier, and he goes, "You just literally look at the engine and you just read the moves off of Stockfish." And it made me very bothered, and I almost canceled today. But do you guys actually find this helpful? Be honest. Don't spam chat, please. Yes. Don't stop spamming. No spamming chat. Stop spamming chat. Thank you, Pablo. Obviously, Full Strive knows that there are a lot of people who are better than him and know more about chess than him, but he wants to help as many people as he can, which is the goal of this. Yes, I read the moves off the engine. Yes, it helps me. Yes, I know I'm reading moves off engine. But Ashes was here before you. I will review one of your games for sure before I turn the stream off, but I'm going to flip through Ash's game real quick. Ashes, I'm going to review this one. Which one did you send? You sent one against a 22-17. I'm assuming these are perfect games. The first one, if you played a better than 90% accurate game in this one, I'm not reviewing it. There you are. Let's look at the review. Alright, fine. I'll review this one. Alright. Hang on one second. Let me go stare at myself in the mirror real quick. I will make a deal with you guys, though. You guys want me to do this again? If this stream has 15 comments from 15 different people on it when it goes live, I will start doing this twice a week. I'll start doing this twice a week. If this stream gets 15 comments on it from 15 different people, I will do this twice a week going forward, forever. You guys will have 24 hours after the stream ends. So, Mr. Ashes, let's look at this. I don't like going to the screen because then I gotta look at myself, and I don't like looking at myself. Okay. Mr. Ashes, in this game against a 22-17, you played a 77.5% accurate game. You had one blunder, no great moves, one book move, one mistake, 8 inaccuracies, and you played like an 1850. This is also a blitz game, and you are playing with the white pieces. Excuse me. Make sure you guys always say excuse me after you burp. Good manners. Okay. Mr. Ashes, let's see what you got for us. You open the game up with e3. Your opponent goes g6, d4, bishop g7. Fianchetto bishop. This is a King's Indian line most of the time, but in this case it would be considered a Van Croot. I'm not even going to say it. c4, d6, knight c3. Garo Khan. Karo Khan-ish. Alright. This is not the Karo Khan, by the way. Horse e3. Bishop comes in. You push the pawn. Okay. Bishop takes on c3, now an option. You have doubled pawns. Your opponent would not take here. Instead, they would have an opportunity to trap your 2 pawns, forever making them a target for the rest of the game. Your opponent can also just play simple and move knight f6. Should that transpire. But your opponent goes c5. You go here. I like this move, even though chess.com calls it an inaccuracy. You're negating the bishop's pin of the horse to do the queen, and you freed your king up the castle. Your opponent goes horsey f6. Now you can play h3. Nice. Now your opponent is forced to take, because if they don't take, they will lose a massive tempo. You take back. Horsey comes over here to the d7 square. You push the pawn. Pawn pushes forward for your opponent. You castle, castles. Rook e1. Queen c7. Bishop f4. Pinning the pawn to the queen. Horsey comes back. Okay. So a couple things you got to take into account here. Sniper bishop has been activated. It is x-raying all of this space right now. Your pieces are very active as well. But this is something that is very important that you need to pay attention to. A simple move like queen d2 would help your position. When you get in these spots where you don't really know what you're doing anymore, you need to ask yourself, how do I improve my position going forward here? But you play bishop g3, bringing the bishop back. I'm assuming you were expecting something along the lines of... I was going to say here, but usually en passant, but I don't know if you play en passant there. But, your opponent goes rook b8. Queen slides up here to the d2 square. Pawn pushes forward here now. A opponent takes back. Rook now slides over here. And it looks like you're trying to get out from under that X-ray vision, but your opponent can now push the pawn here, which is going to prove problematic here in a moment. I was wondering why did your opponent not play b4? He played here instead. Interesting. But you push here now. Queen now comes into the position. Rook slides over here, and this blunders horsey because there are 2 attackers on it, which is bad. Bad. Horsey's going to die an excruciating death. Takes, takes, takes. And this is the position you have found yourself in. Bishop does slide down here to the e2 square. We see bishop g7. Oh, is it misclick? Oh, okay. Touche. F4 played here now by Mr. Ashes. We see the horsey galloping over to the c7 square. King slides up here to the f2 square. Rook, aka castle, now comes over here to the a8 square. Rook slides up here. Rook comes down here to a3. Rook slides over. Coordinated pieces here now by your opponent. This can get very, very tricky very fast if your opponent is not careful, but they do play a very good move, which is pushing the pawn. They can now take this at a moment's notice should they choose. But pieces start to fall off the board. Takes, takes, takes. You're down 6 points of material. Takes. And there's no stopping these 2 passers. And you ran out of time in this position. Overall, I thought that was a very nicely played game here, Ashes. Especially considering your opponent was 1,000 elo higher than you, over. But d5 here was very problematic because of the bishop takes on c3, but your opponent didn't play it. They played here. Now you have an opportunity to play bishop d2, potentially go queenside, which is what I'm assuming the engine is asking for. No, it's not. It's asking for bishop d2. If knight of 6, h3. Bishop has to take. No, now the bishop can come back to f5. But yeah, this is tricky. But when horsey comes here, though, you do have h3. Opponent has to take. Takes. Doesn't have to take, by the way. You can always go back here. But like this doesn't lose tempo, like I mentioned. But the main thing was this right here. And you said this was a mouse slip? Oh, this was a rated tournament. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. This was a mouse slip? Alright, everybody say W Ashes. Everybody say W Ashes. Bye, Dr. Rouge. Bye. Oh, rook was meant to block knight. I see. Alright, touche. Overall, though, GG's good, sir. GG's. Alright. Al has 10 seconds to say something. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't see Al. Al is gone, guys. That's going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm already 50 minutes past when I was supposed to do it. We'll save those games. We'll save these. Al, I'm kidding. Al, I'm trolling you. I see you, bro. You're good. Al's clear. Al's clear. I'm trolling. I'm sorry. That was mean. Al, don't worry. I'm going to review your game before I turn it off. Al, which game do you want me to review? You sent me 3 games. I'm reviewing 1 more. I might play a couple games with you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stream. A very good showing, though. Guys, when I say that I'm going to be doing a classroom, guys, I need you guys to all be here on time because I am likely in a time scramble in real life. Bolshoi has to work on a few things before his day is concluded. Nah, it's alright. Yeah, I know you sent 3, but you were extremely late, no offense. A couple other people were extremely late. But it's okay. I love you guys. It's all okay. I will review your game, Mr. Al. Mr. Al. But like I said, if you guys want me to do this twice a week, I can even probably do it a little bit earlier in the day too, so I have more time. But I really want to dive into these more with you guys. But like, Brain starts to get a little foggy after a few. But alright, let's review for Mr. Owl. Let's review. Do the first one, alright. I'm trying to find Among Us mods for different gameplays. Cat is cooking. Hold up, let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. I said, let him. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Anyways, Mr. Owl, let's see what you played in this game. In this game, Mr. Owl, you played a 56.4%. Excuse me, I had a burp. Excuse me. 56.4% accurate game. You had 0 great moves, 3 book moves, 1 mistake, 4 misses, and 0 blunders in this game. I am very proud of this stat right here. 0 blunders. Good stuff, sir. You play like a 300 and your opponent played like a 250. Let's go ahead and get into this review. But before we do that, let's make sure I turn this off the screen so that I don't cook you guys that are watching. All right, let's jump into it. You're also playing with the black pieces. Okay. So, Mr. Owl, your opponent opened here with e4. You played d5, the Scandinavian defense. Very tricky. E takes e5, queen takes e5. Oh, you play the correct line. Oh, Owl's been doing his homework. Okay, okay, okay. Why did everybody just leave the stream? Why did everybody just leave the stream? You guys don't support Owl? You know what, Owl? I support you. You know what, Owl? Just for that, I'm going to review an extra game for you, and I'm not going to give anyone else an extra game because everybody decided to leave. Knight f3. E5. Pawn pushes forward here. You got to be very careful pushing the pawns in this spot. This will quickly become a target. Also, your opponent can quickly bring the bishop into the game and then castle, and your opponent gets a little bit more development than you do. They have 3 pieces in the game. Your queen is in no man's land, and your 4 bishops or your 4 knights and bishops are all in the back rank still. So, d4. Ooh, but then you go here. See, this is bad because you actually blundered a pawn in this spot. Actually, you blundered more than a pawn. Because after your opponent takes the pawn here, if they so chose, you take back. Opponent takes, or they can't take here. Am I blind? I am blind. Bishop b5 check, which is a very sneaky move. Your queen's the only thing that's defending this pawn. When the bishop comes in here with check, your opponent is going to be forced to do something. They can't go here because that would be checkmate. Oops. They can't go here because that would be check, or you can't go there because that would be checkmate. You can play c6. If c6 does happen, though, you have opportunities to play here. Now if takes. Queen e5. Lots of opportunities. But anyways, that's a very tricky line. Let's focus on the meaty stuff. But your opponent goes here and blunders horsey in 1 move. Okay. Mr. Owl, Mr. Owl, Mr. Owl. Firstly, you are on move 6 of the game and you are already basically down a minute. Flawless. Flawless. That means you are taking a little bit of extra time to process and think about your position. You are in no man's land, which means that you don't know exactly where you stand. When you get into these positions, you need to always ask yourself these questions. Before I move this piece, what pieces am I attacking? What pieces is my opponent attacking? What pieces am I defending? Where if I were to hypothetically move a piece, would result... Kitty, I'm trying to review a game! Would result in... You made me lose my train of thought! I love you, though. But you get the point. But moral of the story is, with your opponent pushing here, they hung the horsey in 1 move. You did not spot it, though. You have the right idea here. We saw a game just a little bit ago where the player got a little ahead of themselves. They played a developing move, so this would be considered a developing move, but you have a lot of more promising potential that you could execute in this position to further advance your interest. So... the knight got hit by a bazooka. But yeah, you go here. Right idea, right idea, right idea. But just note, your opponent's knight was hanging here. Your opponent now goes bishop b2. This is a bad move because of bishop a3. You can also play bishop g4. Wait, bishop g4. Sorry. Bishop a3 is better because if your opponent takes this bishop, now you can take horsey. Your opponent's only move is to block with horsey, block with the queen. or go here. If they go here, they're a numbnut because they actually completely throw the game. I shouldn't say they're a numbnut because I'd be making moves like this too for real. If they block with the queen, they actually hang their rook. And because the queen's the only thing covering the rook, if they block with horsey, now you can take on d4. Because horsey was the only piece that was defending that. So a lot of factors you can factor in there. But you go here and do the exact same thing. You have the right idea. You have the right idea in your brain. So this move is particularly a little bit more worse than this move because now you're blocking your bishop's development. So whenever you're developing your horses, you need to make sure that you're getting your bishops into the game and make sure you're not blocking your bishop. So in this case, your bishop is completely blocked by horsey, and you're going to have to move horsey again to be able to do anything with this bishop. Now your opponent goes here. Okay. Now you have knight d5. What knight d5 does is, 1, frees your bishop to get into the game. 2, horsey is pinned to the king. It can't move. It can't eat this. Also, it's covered by the queen. And 3, technically I kind of mentioned this on the first one, but you can also move your bishop here. Because if your opponent comes here with the queen, you can just bring the bishop here. Because technically, horsey is still pinned to the queen. 3 pieces for 9 pieces. There's no more defending horsey. Horsey is out of room, out of ifs, and especially out of buts. So yeah, no. You go here with the bishop. See, this is something I'm seeing with your games. You have it in mind. You have it in mind. You are literally right there. You have the correct idea. Developing your pieces. But just keep in mind for those tricky tactics, because you could win your games. By the way, I'm watching on my TV, so I can't type. Hello, Mint TV. Hello. Wait, I'm on the big screen. I'm on the big screen. Mint, I have a special message for you. Play chess. Okay, continue. Bishop g2 is now officially on the board. Coming down here and fear and shadowing. Now, wait, it says now you can play e takes on d4. Because if you take on if e takes on d4, if horsey takes, castle's queenside, horsey is pinned to the queen. So many different procedures you can go about this. But you castle queenside, and FS is on TV now, guys. Guys, I'd like to take this moment to say hi to the TV. Hello, Mint's TV. Mint's TV. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am honored to be present on your televisional device. Is that even a word? Televisional? Anyways, I'm going to stop delaying. Oh, sorry. Your opponent now castles, a very clutch move. Whenever they get this blue little exclamation point here, that means that they had a critical move that they had to play in a specific position, and they found that move. That critical move could either cost them the game, win them the game, or be the only move they can do, or else they will be put into a barbecue grill and cooked inside out as though barbecue chicken would be. But he found that move. E takes on d4 now. Horsey is no longer pinned, so horsey is free to roam. But your opponent takes horsey here. And this right here is a blunder for reasons we have already explained. Although it is a different piece, the rook is pinning the knight to the queen. And let me change the color of the arrow. And you can just take this with either piece. Yeah, no, you can literally take with either piece. Which is what you do. W-ow, W-ow, W-ow. Your opponent responds to this with the third top engine move, which is knight e2. And now you can just go ahead and take this, because when you are winning your chess games, guys, when you are winning your chess games, positions are likely going to get complicated. You are likely going to stall because you don't want to make a catastrophic blunder costing you the game. What is the best way to simplify positions? Getting pieces off the board. This is a key move. But you go back. But you do cause a little bit of havoc for your opponent because now the rook is a discovered attacker on the enemy queen. Your opponent goes bishop c3. So this is tricky. And you can actually still take on d1. Do you want to know why? Because if you take the queen, you're going to get a rook. And you particularly take with this, you take this rook because you cause a check. If you take this rook, I guess it doesn't really matter. Rook takes on a1, and then you take the bishop, and now you're up 3 points of material. However, you did play this move. Your opponent goes here. Oh, you literally did that. Oh, dude. I'm going to shut the frick up real quick. Good find there, Owl. Good stuff. Opponent takes, you take. Dude, pat on the back. That was a prestigious execution there by Mr. Owl. Also, Owl took his sweet time on this move, which is exactly what you need to do in spots like this. He took roughly a little less than 40 seconds on this move. Excellent execution there, Owl. And he found the correct procedure, which resulted in him being up 6 points of material. But the game is going to continue. Rook d1. Now the rook is threatening this entire file right now. Horsey comes over here to the c6 square. You gotta be very careful though, because Horsey is very limited in terms of its mobility. Also, if you ever push this pawn, Horsey is only going to be the last lifeline between this bishop and eating Horsey for its lunch. Horsey glides into the position. You bring the king over here. This is an inaccuracy because in this sequence you damage your pawn structure. Also, you hang a bishop. Sorry, not damage pawn structure. You hang a bishop, which is what Horsey does. It eats the bishop. Sorry, I brain fart. Bishop c5 now played here by Mr. Owl. Knight takes on g7. So now it is a 2-point material game. So let's rewind real quick. So long ago, this Horsey could have died. This Horsey could have literally died. And we come all these moves later. Horsey has caused quite a bit of damage. Get material off the board when you are winning. Get it off the board. This is the difference between you and winning an extra 100 elo. Easily. a6 now on the board. Horsey glides back here. The bishop is under immense firepower, courtesy of Horsey's magical little procedure of bouncing over here to the bishop. You spot it though. Nice. You used a lot of time on this move, Owl. I'm so proud of you. Nice work. Good find. Best move on the board. You get the bishop out of danger, and you also prevent the rook from having opportunities to snipe on the d file. Bishop takes on c6. An inaccuracy. You take right back with Horsey. Excellent stuff. Good job taking with the Horsey, by the way. If you take with the pawn, double pawns. We don't like that. Knight e4 now on the board. We see the rook coming over here to the d8 square. This move is fine, but remember, if Horsey takes here now, your pawn structure is damaged again, and it's tricky to get these pawns down the board. But you're still winning. But that's not even what happens. The Horsey comes over here to the e6 square. You bring the rook over here now, Mr. Owl, attacking Horsey. Horsey comes down here. You bring the rook back here. You could have potentially played rook e2 here. Rook e2, what that does is if Horsey were to come back to the f5 square, you can simply come over here to rook d7. And if Horsey were to take, rook takes, pawn takes. Completely simplified position. You are also threatening this fork here of the 2 pawns if your opponent were to not move them. If they move a king here, you come here. 2 pawns will die no matter what they move. And it's just a simple position. And you're not using too much brain power. And you also only have 3 minutes. So, important thing to keep in mind. But, you come back here. It's not a bad move. Horsey now comes into the position coming forward here to the e5 square. Horsey comes up here now to f5, and we see the winning move here. Knight f3 fork, and in this position, Owl's opponent resigned. Everybody in the chat right now, please be sure to say W-OW, W-OW. Ow. I'm going to give you a 30-second window. Do you have any spots in the game where you would like to go back and review if you did not understand them? Or do you have any questions? I want these to be helpful to you, and I want these to help you improve your chess. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and go to your next game. Main thing for me here is really paying attention, especially out of the opening, going towards the middle game when you're getting to those difficult and more so tricky positions to comprehend. And your opponent makes a weird move, make sure you're keeping an eye out for any time that they are hanging a piece. You don't even know? Was this helpful? So, if there's anything that you are going to take away from this, I'll take away these 4 things. These 4 things. Yeah, I'm going to review another game for you, since everybody decided to leave for a few seconds. Full Stripe's going to go on strike and review another game from Al because everybody decided to leave him for dead. But take these 4 things away, Al. Note, in every single game you play, until you get to roughly the 900 to 1100 ELO threshold, 9 out of 10 games, you or your opponent is going to blunder a piece in one game. You need to drill it into your brain that it is not going to be you. Yes, sometimes it will be you, but it needs to be you less. More times than not, when this happens and your opponent does blunder a piece, in those tricky positions, you're trying to remember your mechanics. I need to get my bishops into the game. I need to get my knights into the game. That is all good and awesome. But really make sure you take your time. If your opponent plays a weird move, ask yourself, did this move stop defending? What did this move start attacking? How can I execute my plan of attack and further my interest and further deplete my opponent's interest in this specific spot? So, yeah. Yeah, no, dude, good and well played. But yeah, principles remain the same. Get your knights and your bishops into the game. Get your king to safety. And low key, I'm not gonna lie too, Al, you actually played a really good Scandi here. You played the Scandi really, really well here. It's very tricky getting your queen over here, I will note, because more times than not, especially as you start to progress, your opponent will try to play something like this, attacking the queen. A quick move like this allows your queen to come all the way back to the home square and be safe and sound, but that's not even the top edge move technically, it's here. But whenever I'm playing the Scandi, I'm usually bringing my queen all the way back here, and now if my opponent starts to play moves like this, I just play chess. You start playing chess. Horsey comes here, we come in here to pin. Should he castle, go here, rook comes here, blah, 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 pushes here to get the bishop into the game. Should you go here? Actually, you probably wouldn't go there. Probably a little bit of a questionable move. Push here, blah, 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 here, here, castle. Beautiful position. Ignore all the inaccuracies and mistakes, but you get the point. Hopefully. Baby, do you want me to review another owl game? Batman. Batman wants me to go feed him. Should I feed him or should I review another owl game? Just so you know, if I review an owl game, it's animal cruelty. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Please don't get mad at me. Oh, hi. Mods, if you guys want to promote this too. Okay, let me ask you guys this. I'm about to say something, but I really want to know who's in my live stream right now. Who's all in my live stream right now? Can you guys just say hi or something? Just check in. I know Al's here for sure. Also, I just smacked the mic again. My bad. I'm going to pull up his game real quick. You guys will let me know who's in here. Who's in the live stream right now? Mint's here on the TV. I'm about to tell you guys a secret. You is nowhere. I'm about to tell you guys a secret. Something that I've really picked up on as far as Discord engagement goes inside our server. I have made a list of people, and this topic is very, very important. So it's very important that I know if you're here or not. I've conjured up a list, and this also includes moderators and VIPs. Alright, well, there's 7 people in here. I guess 3 people like to be silent and mute. Mint is on the TV, and he even said sup. Alright, well, you guys want to know what I'm noticing and why a lot of people seem to be very stagnant in their chess game? If you weren't here a little bit ago, I definitely dived into this pretty hard for a hot second. And I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what's going to be inside of what I'm doing as far as the Project 1500 deal goes, but guys, like, full transparency. It's so easy to talk about yourself, especially the good parts. It's so easy to talk about the great things that happen in your games, the great things going on in your life. You love talking about yourself in a positive manner because you are your favorite person. You are. It's plain and simple. And now when we factor chess into that, you like sending your brilliant moves. I have a brilliant move channel in the Discord server. Hey, I'm trying to give a deep talk here. Shush. But genuinely speaking, guys, I don't want to reveal all of this because this is what's actually going to be in my course, my setup that I'm going to have in the Discord server. I have yet to figure all the logistics out behind that, but I'm getting to that. Guys, like, the difference between people who genuinely progress 400 elo in a month to 2 month span compared to people who stay at, let's say, 900 elo for over 2 years is because the people who stay at that spot are so closed-minded, and they are not capable of looking at the holes in their game. They aren't capable of doing that, and this analogy could be used throughout all your entire life. This right here, chess. The reason why I love chess so much, the reason why I play it and create content and made the Discord server that I made, is because chess is like one of the most potent games when it comes to self-analysis and self-realization and just maturing as a human being and maturing as a chess player. And when I say that, I'm talking about being capable of looking at all the issues that you have in your game. So I feel like I'm kind of going in circles, but moral of the story is, guys, review your games. And when I say review your games, look at the holes, look at the mistakes, look at the misses, look at the blunders. Force yourself into that frame of mind. It's easy to look at the good stuff. It's easy to talk about the good stuff. But if you're not capable at looking at the bad stuff, how is the bad stuff going to go away? Alright, enough yapping. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful, guys. If you guys want more info on that, coming soon in Project 1500 and 1000 ELO. Okay, shut up, Force Drive. Let's look at this review from Mr. Owl. I haven't even clicked on it yet. Oh, I actually opened a whole new tab. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, I'm reviewing another one for Owl because everybody decided to leave and abandoned me, and Owl decided to stay put. Everybody else left me and abandoned me and left me for dead. True, some people I know don't even want to analyze classical games they lose. If you don't even analyze those, they probably analyze nothing. Dude, it's like so freaking common, and like I'm no stranger to it too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you guys want to know what the sole root canal of you not being able to review chess games is? It's social media. It's literally social media, because you're constantly looking at highlight reels. Like, you want to look at the good stuff. You don't want to look at the bad stuff. Looking at the bad stuff is character development. adding tools to your toolbox. That's how you add tools to your toolbox. You look at the bad stuff. But I'm going to stop talking about that. I have a lot of this going into my Project 1000, 1500 ELO stuff that is actually going to be a secret life hack to improving your chess. But we will stop talking about that now. But anyways, we're going to talk about Owl. Did I really do this wrong again? Did I screw this up? Why is this not showing up? Oh, it is. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Okay, timeout. Guys, I gotta call a timeout. My cat is literally freaking out. He's literally gonna attack me with a freaking water gun in a second. I have to feed him. Hang on. BRB feeding kitty. BRB feeding kitty. Sorry. BRB. I lost the patience for cat. For cat classical. Should I start doing classical, guys? Do you guys think I should? Alright, I gotta feed kitty. BRB. Shh. You are embarrassing me. All right. No more delay. Let's get into Mr. Owl's game here. I'm going to play you guys in some games after this too, if you guys would like to. All right, Mr. Owl, in this game, you played a 29.8% accurate game. You had 2 great moves, 2 clutch moves, 1 single book move, 2 misses, 4 mistakes, 3 inaccuracies, and 2 blunders. Let's delve into it. And you are playing with the black pieces. All right, let me take a little swig of my yummy juice. All right. Game opens up with E3. Our response with E5. Hang on one second. I need to grab something real quick. So sorry. Our responds with E5. His opponent goes Queen F3. Okay. Your opponent played a very weird queen move. You need to continue playing your game. Play your game. Remember your mechanics. Don't play anything weird or... Oh my gosh, I'm like burping, but like not burping. Don't play anything that exposes your position. Excellent move. I love this move, Al. Nice move. Get horsey into the game. Start your development. The better move here would have been to just continue your development with controlling the center squares because this pawn is covered by the queen, but I still like this move. Your opponent comes in with bishop c4. You push the pawn, so you don't necessarily have to push this pawn here. You can always play knight f6. Knight f6 works because more times than not, your opponent will only have a single pawn blocking this bishop. So in this case, there are 2 block pawns. This horsey stops the checkmate threat coming in here. Stops the checkmate threat coming in here. Your horsey is activated. You're going to be able to get your bishop into the game, and then you'll be able to quickly castle, and you're not even going to be thinking about a checkmate threat there anymore. But this move does stop it at the cost of your entire light side of your board, specifically on the king side being rather exposed. White now pushes forward here with the pawn to a3. We see e4, and so you got to be very careful. Don't overextend your pawns. This straight up hangs a pawn, and your opponent does spot it. You go queen e7. We see knight c3. Horsey comes down here to the e5 to, I guess, attack the bishop. And your opponent goes here. Okay. You do have a sequence here where you could play f5. F5 is a very tricky move to spot because if you play f5, if the queen takes, yes, it looks like this is very scary, but your queen is always covering this as well as your horsey. And now you have a discovered attack on the queen. X-ray vision. If you push the pawn forward here, queen's under attack. Oh, but wait. The knight can just take and you're just gonna die. Nah, bro. Takes. Oops, takes. You have crazy development. I kind of rage baited there. You don't win material, but like you have crazy development and your position is very, very nice compared to white. But anyways, b3, You push the pawn here. Ooh, okay, I see your idea. I see your idea. You're pushing the pawn here, and you're looking to get a fork. I love the incentive, and I like the idea. Your opponent goes here. Oh my gosh, and you have the fork. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. I want you to play f5 again. But I guess horsey takes. Yeah, if horsey, yeah, it's calling this a mistake because if horsey takes, your queen's under attack now. You have to play queen c5 now. If queen c5, horsey's still very active. If you move the bishop here, wait, it's not even your move, lol. d4. You do fall into a fork here, so you probably don't want to go there, so psych. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I always tend to go into the theory a little bit more. But we're trying to keep things simple. Batman? Batman, Uncle U says Batman. Queen takes, though. You develop your bishop. Good development here, by the way. Bishop now comes over here. You bring the queen up. Okay. And that hung a pawn. So you got to be careful now because your rook's under attack. A quick way to stop this could potentially be bringing the queen back here to the c8 square because your rook is the only defense of this pawn right now. So if you move your queen here, if the queens trade, you're okay. And this bishop can, if the bishop ever takes here, you just take right back here. So, tricky sequence. You can, the engine also says that you can play rook d8. If you play rook d8 and queen takes, this is apparently good because of bishop takes on a3, takes, and then you have this, threatening a very devastating attack on the king, while also attacking the rook. But a lot of different ways you can go about it. You went rook c8. I don't hate that move, because it did blunder the pawn, but your opponent comes in here instead. Also, the engine really wanted white to take the bishop here, because if white does take the bishop here, you lose your right to castle. Remember, whenever the king moves, full strive. Oh, what's up, King Harold? Where was I? Yeah, if the bishop takes here, and then you take back with the king, you lose your right to castle, because after your king does make a move, you are no longer allowed to castle. New rule, or not new rule, rule in chess. But anyways, horsey comes in here. This is bad because now you can play takes, and no. What am I doing? Oh, e4, pinning horsey to the queen. You can always go here, but the position gets more and more cooked by the mere bitter second. Oh, you have G takes on G2. Pretty. You go king d8 though. This is bad because now you have removed the last defender of this bishop. So pawn pushes now for your opponent. Horsey comes down here. Your opponent is still attacking the bishop. So now would be a really good time to take that bishop. We go here with the rook. And now your opponent can play queen c7. Queen c7 check. Horsey, you better not be doing... No, or not horsey. Kitty, stop. Stop. Hey. Stop him. All right. King e8, the only move. This is a forced move icon, by the way, if nobody knew. You take the pawn. Okay. Horsey comes into the position with a deadly fork. However, the horse is still looking at it, so you can always just take the horse. But you take the bishop. Oh! And now Al is winning, but his opponent also blundered a fork. And his opponent resigned the game. Al, my king. Good game, bro. Good game. You played a lot of good moves in this. But I want to show you this one early on in the game. Can you please get out of here? Get out. Get out. You're being bad. You and I both know what you're doing. Get out. Scram. You're being bad. Yeah. In this spot, it's completely even. It would be in your best interest to progress with just a simple development. You can even play d6 here. I know it blocks your bishop, but you get this bishop into the game. eventually. Obviously not right now because the bishop's looking at the square, but yeah. Just be very, very careful whenever you push pieces. Remember, you or your opponent is going to make a blunder in every game. I know this isn't considered a blunder, but this is kind of like what paved the way for the position to kind of blow out of proportion. You are a very talented chess player as well, Al. Trust me. You got good things coming to you. You stick with it. Alright guys, well that is going to be my last review for the day. If you guys would like to play me in a couple games, I am open to it. I am down to allow you guys to barbecue chicken me a couple games. I'm only playing Blitz though. You're welcome, Al. Hopefully you found those helpful, bro. If you ever have any questions, throw them in the chess club about the review or anything. I'm only gonna respond to like games that I reviewed though. So please make sure you note that. But yeah. Cool. Alright, anybody want to challenge me in a game? I'm gonna flip the screens to the B4 drive screens real quick. Do 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 do. Wait. Wrong one. I actually have a B4 strive on this. Here we go. Alright, who wants smoke? Al wants smoke. Alright, let's do it, Al. You gotta be kidding me. What is this? What is this trap? Bro took away all my pieces. This isn't fair. What the frick? What the heck? I got all my pieces stripped away from me. You gotta be kidding me, bro. This wasn't in the course. Bro, I opened the game and I don't have any pieces. I am down 12 points of material right now. What is this? I want to move my bishop there, but I don't have a bishop. Alright, we're going to come to check. Come down here. What is this, bro? This is unfathomable. This is a poison pawn. If I take here, you bring his rook over and get this pawn. But I'm also down 12 points of material, so I cannot afford to lose any pieces right now. So, bro, I literally did it. I literally sacked all of it. Bro selected custom position. How did you know? How did you find that button? You're playing Swiss? Nice. Okay, I don't want to lose any pieces, so I'm going to push the pawn. I really don't want to lose any pieces. But unfortunately, I might be forced to lose pieces in a second. Calculating. Calculating. So this is why you wanted to play me in 100 gazillion games. You were just waiting to catch me off guard and give me no pieces. I see. I see. Error in calculation. What do you guys think the eval bar was at the start of that game? Let's go here. I think I figured out what my plan's going to be. Okay, dude, shut up, U.S. Fragrance. Bro, what are you saying in my TikTok chat? Why do you scumbags keep joining the TikTok chat and saying the most outlandish things? There's kids here, you bums. Shut up. Dummy. Get blocked. Freaking imbecile. Alright, so Al comes here. Let's go here. Plus 9,000 for black. Black had probably had like a forced mate. Let's scare his bishop away. Little does Al know that he can actually just sack pieces for pawns, and he will actually be improving. Will he do it, though? No, he cowers in the corner. I'm coming for you, Al. Al, I would be shaking in your boots right now because I am bringing up a massive storm of an attack. Alright, we're going to go here. Yeah, dude. Literally. I hate TikTok so much, and it's so annoying that I have to freaking be on this platform. Dude, somebody said, I'm not going to say what they said, but they said the most outlandish thing I think I've ever seen in all of my days. Also, I'll have a sacrifice there. Alright. Stay cool, calm, collected. Oh, you're moving your king. Unbelievable. Stay on the side of the board like a man. Unbelievable. See, if my queen falls off the board, I am losing this game. Completely and utterly. Like, my queen has to survive at all costs. And I can't even push the pawn, bro. What the frick? What the frick, yo? You know what? I can. Let me cook. Yeah, he literally just has to stack pieces. If he literally just stacks pieces, he will win this game. Okay. Al, I hope if you know if you lose this game, you're never going to hear the end of it, bro. Okay. No way, bro. Knight is in fact cooked. But that's like the smallest step. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wait. What's the better move here? Takes. I'm gonna take. Full strive is surviving. That is what is happening. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Survive. We just have to survive. Oh. Check. No! I mouse slipped! No! GG's, Al. GG's. I know you got into time trouble there. Pro gave me no pieces. What was the opening eval for that? Show me the eval opening eval bar. Bro, I castled and I'm immediately minus 7.5. Rip, bro. That's crazy. Very, very close game. Yeah, Al, my mindset for that was literally just don't die. All right, anyone else want to play a game real quick? Anyone else? Play a couple more games and I gotta turn off the stream. There is a chess tournament tomorrow, by the way. I'm still up in the air if I'm going to make it a round robin or not. Oh my gosh, we have so many people signed up. Oh my. I don't really feel like telling people no, so we're going to have to figure something out. We will. Let's do it. You know, I know you're going to play something weird. I'm going to play e4. You're going to go like h or a5, h5. I know you're like pushing the pawn here. So you know what? I'm going to open up with something you've never seen from me before. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing now. Why? I don't know what this is. This is hurting my noggin. We need to lock in. Yu's on a 30-game win streak against me right now. I gotta end this win streak. You will not beat me again, ever. I will never lose again. Ever. Try and get horsey planted. Okay. Okay. What are you planning here, bro? What's your plan? Come in. Come in. I'm an open book. You can share it with me. I promise. I'm not going to tell anyone. Tell me your plan. What is your plan? Tell me your plan. Why, bro? Why'd I just turn into Batman? Ooh, do I have this pretty move? I do. Yes. Okay, don't run out of time. I don't want to give Leilani Knight to get here. That's why I haven't pushed that. Oh, we got him. We got him. We got him thinking. Hello, P2 Super Steve. How are you today? How are you today, my good sir? Hopefully you are feeling the blessings. Knight or Bobby Pusher? Snicker, snicker. does work now. So now if he goes here with the knight, I just take and then I push the pawn. Also threatening a fork on like 30 different sides. It's good to hear, man. You been playing a lot of chess lately, sir? Good, sir. Come on, you. Bring up. Nope, nope, nope. We cannot be allowing that. Nope. No, sir. No, sir. We are not going to be allowing that. That will not be allowed in these parts. Ooh, not gonna bring the rook up. Ooh, oh, oh. Okay, okay, okay. My horsey is so powerful right now, I don't want to move it. I don't really want to move horsey. Is there a better way I can approach this? Maybe here? Yeah. Okay. I ran out of time. Oh my gosh, you just beat me again. Dude, I cannot beat this guy. This guy's unbeatable. Ugh. Bro is unbeatable. GG's you. GG's. Bro always beats me. Let's see how bad this review was. Wasn't bad. I hung the pawn. Yeah, and then I had this, but I had 7 seconds. Bro's too fast. Ah, good game, you. Good game, good game, good game. That's Yu's like 30th win in a row against me. All right, anyone else? Anyone else? Going once, going twice, going thrice, going thrice. I was locked in that game too, I thought. All right, homies, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if this video gets, or excuse me, this live stream after it goes live on YouTube gets more than 15 comments, I will go ahead and do another, or I will do 2 chess classrooms a week where I review your guys' games and try and help you guys improve. So, 15 comments from 15 different people. That is the verdict. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We have a chess tournament tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. CST, and I have timestamps posted for that, as well as an event, as well as a event inside our Discord server. So pay attention to that. It is all going down tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm pretty sure I'm probably not going to do a round robin tournament, but it's possible I might, depending on how many people show up. But we shall see. But guys, I appreciate you all tuning in. Absolutely. Good, sir. It was a pleasure to meet you too, Mr. Snowfy. But yeah, I'm going to you guys the exact same way I end you every single stream, and make sure you guys stay tuned for tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic, and fantabulous rest of your day or night.